Is Jalen Carter a lock at 10? Now, there has been some news coming out of Jalen Carter, obviously best defensive tackle in this draft. We've talked about him a million times. Some news has came to the surface, and there's a lot of pros and cons about it. And do the Eagles have a lock at Jalen Carter at 10? And there could be reasons why for it. So let's get straight into all of it in depth.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shakes coming, guys, with video now. So yeah, some news of Jalen Carter just came out, and it's interesting. I don't really know what to take from it, really. Like, there's definitely things you can kind of break this down a little bit. So news did come out from Jalen Carter himself that his agent pretty much said that he's not talking to teams outside the top 10. With everything going on right now, he's kind of putting himself and kind of trapping himself into a corner like, I'm not losing money. And part of it is money. Part of it is he wants to get paid as a first-round pick. He wants some money. But at the same time, the only two teams that he has talked to as of right now, okay, are the Bears and the Eagles. The Bears sit at 9, the Eagles sit at 10. Okay, which is really interesting. We know the Bears need offensive line help, defensive line help badly. They have a lot of cap. They had a lot of cap. They traded back from the first overall pick, and need some linemen. What's interesting really about this is he really backing himself into a corner right now. I don't know, forcing teams to take him top 10. I mean, it's up to the team at the end of the day, but the less teams that he sees on pre-draft visits, the worse it's going to get for him. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Or maybe he's heard rumors from his agent that a lot of teams are really passing up on him, and he's kind of dwindling down on maybe these are the two teams I'm going to go see. So whatever team, besides the Eagles and the Bears, whatever team is available for a pre-draft visit that wants to see him, he could go see. So we'll keep track of those pre-draft visits. But so far, Bears and Eagles are the only two teams that he has seen on pre-draft visits. Okay, the good thing you can kind of take out of this is maybe he already knows where he's going to go 100%. Maybe the Bears already kind of said, we're going to get you. We're going to get you. We promise we're going to take you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, Or he went to the Eagles and had a pre-draft visit, and the Eagles were like, we're taking you at 10. But another thing that I could kind of see is Nakobe Dean, okay, and Jordan Davis, no doubt in my mind that both of those players have given the Eagles a lot of feedback and obviously have probably called him and know him personally and have his phone number, and there'd be no doubt in my mind that Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean have gotten to contact, and the Eagles wanted more in-depth of what this guy is like. I don't think that, obviously then a pre-draft visit, the Eagles don't know him personally, like some of the guys that he's played with, but I think definitely helps in a lot of different ways here when you could see a guy, off camera or not involved in the draft or getting to know somebody, off field and what's been going on. Obviously, we've heard of the reckless driving. We've heard of what happened and, not showing, not doing the combine workouts, not having a great pro day, looked sluggish, looked like he, apparently he gained 9 pounds for the good or bad part of what he was doing. I don't know. But it's pick your poison in the draft. The draft is always going to be a gamble on any player. And I think Carter wouldn't do this just to do it for the money, and maybe he would. I don't know, but I think it comes down to he thinks that one of these two teams might draft him. If he's already doing this on, if he had 8 to 10 pre-draft visits, I can understand maybe they're going to force other teams to move up, or maybe there's someone in the top 10 that really likes him. But he's only had 2 pre-draft visits with 2 teams. And there's 4 teams that want quarterbacks right now. The Seahawks can grab a DT. I mean, look, he could be taken by Seattle. He could be taken by the Bears. He could be taken by the Lions. Who knows? The Raiders might even want him at this point. I mean, who knows, until we see more pre-draft visits. But with only 2 pre-draft visits right now, it's really hard to say, like, that he's comfortable, like, kind of messing his draft stock up a little bit, where he's not going to allow other teams outside of the top 10 to ask him for a pre-draft visit that have interest. I don't think sorely, like I said, like, if it's just for the money, I'd be really shocked, because obviously, yeah, if you're drafted in the top 10, you'll get, but it just depends what you're going to get. But it's, you're getting a heftier contract. You're a millionaire at that point. You know what I mean? Drafted second, third, fourth, obviously the price goes down on you as a player. But there's no doubt in my mind that there's got to be some background information where the Eagles or Bears have really considered taking him. That it's already said and done. The Eagles were like, we're taking you at 10. If we have to move up, we'll move up. If we see other rumors that you're going to be moved, the other team wants you, we're going to jump in front and get you. We promise we're going to get you. This is what we're going to do. So I don't know what you guys take from it. I mean, it's not really a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal because, like, I feel like if Carter feels like he's overvaluing himself and kind of dismissing what's happened to him, teams are taking into account what he's done. Whether he's innocent, guilty, whatever the case may be with it, teams are taking that into account and necessarily don't want to spend a high draft pick on him if this is what they're going to deal with in the future. Number 2, I think when it comes to the Eagles, they've always given guys second chances. They like personalities. It's not a military school here. It's a military team where you have to follow this and follow. Obviously, you have to be respectful and carry yourself well. But Eagles love personalities, and they love giving guys second chances. And like I said, I've always liked Jalen Carter, and I would definitely draft him. My gut feeling is I think he's going to be really good, and I feel like the Eagles do pass on him. He will be good for another team. He will move down. But if he's canceling pre-draft visits out of the top 10, then those teams are going to say we're not even going to try to even attempt to draft him, because if we can't meet him, we can't talk to him, we can't get to know him, it's kind of out of our hands. Unless there's going to be a team that doesn't care out of nowhere and maybe moves up and goes and maybe gets him. I don't know. But this shows me that there is somewhat promise that he could be drafted by the Bears or the Eagles. There could be legit interest there. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was drafted at 10. It wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles jumped the Bears at 9 to go get him. The Bears have called Georgia multiple times to find out about his background and what's going on. But who knows, like I said, who knows Jalen Carter personally? And the Eagles can get really, really good feedback. And that is Jordan Davis and the Kobe Dean. Literally. Which I think they can get away with a lot of things. Who knows? They probably could have talked, besides the pre-draft visit, they probably talked to him on the phone. Who knows? I mean, there's loopholes to get in contact with some of these players without interfering with the agent that's taking care of what their pre-draft visits and fit and where they should go. Stuff like that. I mean, the agents can only do so much. I mean, they set up the pre-draft visits and, they help them out with their scheduling and stuff. Other than that, they have no control over who they're drafted by. At the end of the day, it's up to the team and how the board really falls from 1 to 10, 1 to 9, really, for the Eagles to make a jump, or they stay at 10 and get it done. So I thought this was kind of weird. But at the same time, if you didn't have all this outside noise going on, I would say this would make sense, where he was just like, he thinks he's valued at that, which I think he is. But to limit yourself, and maybe he's like, oh, I'm getting paid top 10. I'm going to be a monster this year. I'm going to be a monster for a team for years to come. I'm getting paid my money. Like, I'm not letting this thing force me down. And now I'm just going to cancel pre-draft visits outside the top 10 where they have to draft me top 10. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I want to know what you guys think about this whole situation. I feel like there's just something there. I feel like he has a lock with a couple teams already. I think the Bears and Eagles, or one of those two teams, has already promised him that they're going to draft him. I think the Eagles are definitely in that talk of getting him. So, like I said, familiarity with players that have played with him. Like I said, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, will say for the 5th time. I think that's huge. So we'll see. I know I've been ranting, raving, kind of to think in different ways. Why would he do this on top of what's happened? Don't you want to get drafted? I mean, look, he can't control where he gets drafted. If he gets drafted outside the top 10, then, like, what is he going to do? Get mad about it? Like, he figures, well, if I don't see other teams out of the top 10, they won't draft me, so I'll be still forced to draft me top 10. I don't know if that's a smart decision in business with himself. I don't think that's really smart. You always want to keep your options open. Don't limit yourself. If you didn't have this outside noise going on about bad character and all this other crap going on, I would say, okay, I get it. He values himself a lot more, and he's making his own rules, which isn't a bad thing. Some guys do that. But on top of what's going on with him, whether he's innocent or guilty because of it, or people agree or disagree with it, or whatever the case may be, he makes a decision at the end of the day, where, he wants to get drafted, I guess. Not entirely, but, he's pinpointing where he wants to go. And so he only has 2 pre-draft visits, and he's only doing this early. If he had 20 pre-draft visits right now, okay, I get it, probably in the formality of that, but only 2, and you're, limiting yourself even more? Yeah, I think he's being picky. I think he specifically wants to go to a certain place. And I think the Eagles or Bears have already promised to draft him. And I think the Eagles definitely are one of those teams because they're both in the top 10. So let me know what you guys think about the whole situation. I know it's kind of confusing, but what do you take the pros and cons of this situation with Jalen Carter and hit the outside noise? And do you think this is the right decision to make for himself as a guy with high draft capability where he can get drafted very early? Top 10 pick. Could this affect him down the road? I don't know. Should be interesting to see what happens. To see what the other visits are, if this is even going to be true. This news has been going all over the place. I don't think this is false. I don't think this is third-party rumor. I think this is absolutely true. So yeah, should be interesting. So other than that, guys, pretty much it. I'll see you guys on the next one. If you guys lasted this long, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video as well. Check out the Philly Shakedown merch, Draft 5 merch down below as well. Pre-order by April 14th and all that great stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes it up. Follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.